So check this out, boys. This video is called I spent $2,700 to complete, in quotes, a Marvel Snap collection. That's a problem. Of course that's a problem, my dude. Everybody knows this is a problem, dude. Yes, we are going to take a look at this, my brother. This video is from RegisKillbin, my brother, and this looks very interesting, so I want to see what he has to say, you know, because $2,700 is a lot of fucking money. You can do a lot of bullshit with that stuff. You know that in Venezuela, in my country, with $2,700 you can buy a house. You can buy a fucking house in Venezuela with that kind of money. So let's see what he has to say in here, brother.
So this is the only
Yes, brother, this is first reaction. I don't watch the videos before I do the reactions in here. This is I react to them hot with you guys.
So this is the only Marvel Snap card I don't own. This is the unowned filter here on Marvel Snap. As you can see, Sentry is it. And what do you know?
So this dude is a mega whale. He has a full full collection because he can go and buy the Sentry right now and he will have a full collection. Wow, that must feel cool. But at the same time, you spend a lot of fucking money for a bunch of JPEGs in a mobile game. So maybe that doesn't feel as cool, you know?
No, here is Sentry in my token shop with 6,200 tokens, just enough to unlock the final card for Marvel Snap.
Oh yes, brother, I'm not kidding. Of course, there are expensive houses that can cost a lot of fucking money. But in Venezuela, you can buy a really cool house, and I'm saying like a 5-bedroom house, you know, with a garden and with, how do you call that, with a backyard, for $5,000, you know, and in a nice zone of, on the country. Brother, it is insane. So why the fuck, yo Sector, my brother, how you doing? And you can get a card from, I don't know, a 2010 card for $3K, something like that, for $2K, a 28 card. So yes, you can buy a house and a car, or a car, a house or a car with this kind of money. Why the fuck would you spend it on a mobile game, dude?
So this is a bit of a milestone. I've actually managed to,
and of course, if you have lower standards of living and you can buy an ugly car and a bullshit house, you can get a house and a car with $2,700 in Venezuela, for sure. Of course, you won't get the best car or house, but you can do it. You can fucking do it.
100 tokens, just enough to unlock the final card for Marvel Snap. So this is a bit of a milestone. I've actually managed to earn every single card in Marvel Snap, or at the very least, to be technical, enough credits to earn every card in Marvel Snap. And that's an important distinction, because I'm not gonna buy Sentry, because tomorrow yet another Series 5 card will arrive.
And you are not gonna buy Sentry also because Sentry fucking sucks. That is something that we don't give a lot of thought about the series stuff, and I am one of the first people that criticizes the series stuff. But it is true that we won't buy every fucking card, because I'm not getting Sentry. You know when I'll get Sentry? When he gets to Series C and I get him in a reserve, because I'm not gonna pay tokens for fucking Sentry. You know what I'm saying? And I recommend you guys to do the same, unless you like the Sentry, is your favorite character, so well, go ahead and buy the Sentry. But the Sentry fucking sucks.
Arrive in the token shop with Sauron, and I need to buy Sauron instead because Sentry is worse. So for a
yes, is Sauron already in the game? I don't even know, because I don't know when cards get added to the game, because they are invisible, they don't exist, they are ethereal. So maybe Sauron already exists. Oh yes, Sauron already exists in the game, brother. Wow, I didn't even know that bullshit. And Sauron is cool. Sauron's ability is fucking cool. And Orca too, all right. Yes, Orca got with yesterday's patch, right? With the nerf, with the leader and the Aero bullshit.
Brief, fleeting moment of about, I don't know, 16 hours or something, I actually had a complete Marvel Snap collection, but then it's right back on the grind. And Man, that sucks. Number one, it's really, really hard to get every card in Marvel Snap. It's really hard to get any series.
So, brother, a mega whale is saying that it sucks. Imagine how it is for us mortals, brother.
It's really, really hard to get every card in Marvel Snap. It's really hard to get any Series 5 cards for most people. And I wanted to use this video to discuss that just a little bit, but also just run you through what a complete collection in Marvel Snap looks like, how much money I've spent. So first things first, let's talk about the big old elephant in...
Oh, brother, look at this. He is always maxing out his credits stuff. Look at this. He always buys his bullshit. My shop never looks like that, brother.
The room. How much money have I spent in order to acquire a temporarily complete Marvel Snap collection?
Hey, brother, we have to take... brother, today I'm drawing a blank on words, brother. We have to pay attention to the words he's using. He's saying a temporarily full collection, because that is the stuff. If you wanna keep up with the full collection, you have to keep spending. It is not like, well, I spent $2,700 and I have a full collection, period. No. This is a temporarily full collection for 1 week, because next week there is another card coming, and if you want that one, you have to spend more money. So we have to pay attention into the words that are being used here, brother. Exactly.
Well, brace yourselves. It is just over $2,700. I've been playing the game since it debuted in early access. I believe it was May 24th, the day after my birthday, actually. Back in May, there was an early access period for certain regions as they...
Brother, I don't know what... Am I the only one that thinks that his hair is fucking awesome? Brother, look at his hair. His hair is fucking awesome, dude. Wow.
Streamer, they sent me an invite. Handful of us got those early access invites. And I've been playing Marvel Snap pretty much every day since then. I did take a little bit of a gap in the mid to late summer, I think July and August, because of the Nexus events debacle. That got me a little bit discouraged and frustrated, so I took off a little while. Once they pulled that out of the game and promised not to do that again, I came back, kept the grind rolling. And for the most part, for large portions of that period, I have been buying gold in the 100 gold variety here for 8,000 gold, and then buying credits every day. So using my gold to buy these credits to accelerate my...
Yes, and before that was the only whale thing you could do besides buying the season pass, because there was no other way of spending money. Now we have the bundles and whatever, but before the only thing that you could do was buy gold and get gold into credits to upgrade your collection track and get reserves. You know, that was the only thing you could do with money previously. But now you have also the bundles, and the bundles give you credit. So if you are a giga whale and you wanna completely max out your credit acquisition, you have to buy gold for the credits that he has right here, but also buy the bundles that offers you extra credit that aren't in this time gated stuff, you know. So giga whales buy all that bullshit.
Collection level, and you'll see here my collection level is 11,000.
Brother, guys, are you seeing this? This is 11k collection level, brother. How is this even possible, dude? Brother, I'm 4k. I'm also playing since like June or July or something like that in the beta. My dude, of course, I don't spend money in the game. This is understandable. I only buy the season pass, and since the Miles Morales season, because before that I didn't buy any season pass either. But there you have the difference. A player that has spent some money on season passes versus a player that maxes out the spending. I have like 4,400 and he has 11 fucking K. My dude, this is insane, dude. This is fucking insane.
Not 8,000, 11,000 482, which is up there with one of the probably higher amounts, frankly, in the world. There are certainly people who are higher. There's some people like 14,000 plus, and we have a few public leaderboards, but those are voluntary. You have to sign up for those, so we don't know exactly how many. But you know, still, it's abnormally high. And the only reason I'm able to do this is because, of course, I turn cards into money. Most people just turn cards
exactly because he creates content and he has a good amount of subscribers, 175K. I suppose he also streams live on Twitch or on YouTube, and he also makes some money from there. So yes, having cards for him is a business decision. So he just says, I will invest. It's an investment. He says, I will invest in these cards, I will create videos, and I will make a profit. So that is cool for him. But you have to take into consideration that, of course, the vast majority of players don't do this. And spending this amount of money just to play by yourself and not make a profit is kind of stupid.
Cards, but as a content creator, of course, when I make a video on a shiny new card, especially if I get the card early or right on time, I mean, like if I don't have to wait a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks to get the card, but if I get it like the first day, for instance, I can usually leverage that into a lot of views on YouTube, and then, of course, views for me equals money. So to give you an example of that, for instance, like I got Null pretty fast. I think Null I got within like the first 9 hours of his release or something, right? And for the Null video, this timing is quite appropriate. I've gotten exactly 100,000 views off of Null.
Wow, that is fucking
and that
cool.
has turned into $689.
Nice.
So for Null,
brother, we are going to accomplish this someday, my boys. Don't worry, we are going to accomplish this someday into the future. Having a 100K video, brother.
I probably spent effectively, you know, couple $100 worth of credits into tokens and so on. I don't know the exact equations in math. Somebody out there could actually tell you the exact cost. But I was able to turn that into $689. And a regular video would not have gotten 100,000 views. It might have gotten half that, right? Or even less, maybe 30 to 40,000 views if I didn't have Null. So the net gain for a Null video versus a non-Null video might be like $400 or something. So I pay and profit a little bit from getting ahead of the curve when it comes to cards, especially if I can maintain that for every.
Exactly. He sees that he doesn't see this 2,700 as an expenditure, but as an investment. And you could argue that is that way. And I believe you could even, I don't know if I am right because I'm not a US resident, but I believe that for a content creator, they can argue in their tax payoff that they invested the money and they get a reduction on taxes. So that's even better for them, brother.
Every new card release moving forward, which at this stage,
exactly,
I think I might be able to. Right. Then, you know, this is a viable model for me to turn, again, gold and money into more money, which takes some work in the meantime. There's a little bit of effort that goes into that, of course, creating videos and such, but that's my job. That works for me. The thing is, that is not remotely feasible for the average player, of course. Exactly. You guys can't get a card and then turn it into $689 or whatever. So for you, the real cost of a card is hundreds of dollars sometimes for these Series 5 cards. Or again, I don't know the exact math. I'm too lazy to figure it out.
Well, I took a look to a Reddit post when a user did the math, and it comes around like $200 for a Series 5 card, a little over, like $220, something like that. You know, $200 for a Series 5 card, brother. And that checks up with another dude that yesterday said that he bought the new Pro Bundle, and after he spent all the credits and got all the boxes, he got 2,700 collector's tokens. So that is almost half a Series 5 card with $100. So if you double that down, yes, you get almost a Series 5 card with $200, which is fucking insane, brother. Paying $200 for a JPEG in a mobile game is stupid as fuck. Exactly. And what do you get after that? A bunch of tokens, fucking titles, and a stupid avatar, something like that. and not even a lot of tokens to buy cool stuff in the token shop. I maybe have to take a look at that video, brother. I maybe have to take a look at that video.
Figure that out. But at the very least, very, very, very expensive, unreasonably expensive. You're spending more per Series 5 card in the token shop than perhaps an entire video game. Like a new AAA release might be cheaper than a...
Brother, as I am already saying, $200 for a fucking card. You could, like I said in my video yesterday, for the 100 box that cost the pro bundle, you could buy an entire outfit and you could still go and have dinner, brother. You buy a t-shirt for $10, a pair of pants for $10, and cool sneakers for $60, and you still have $20 to go buy a couple of hamburgers, you know, and have a cool dinner. So why the fuck would I buy the pro bundle, my dude? This is a stupid, and a Series 5 card is $200, so you can do a lot of fucking stuff, brother. You can buy an use of a PS4 for $200 and play a lot of fucking games. Of course, and the stuff. Hey, yo, can you hear me, guys? Yo. Am I frozen or am I cool? Are you guys listening to me? Okay, nice. All right, cool. Nice. Thank you very much. And yes, they said that the pro bundle was for new players so they can catch up. But when you get into the game and you see that this bullshit costs $100, you aren't going to buy that bullshit, brother, unless you are filthy rich. You know what I'm saying? Well, clothes don't, but food can, because if you don't get your food, you won't have your clarity of mind to be able to outsmart your opponent, you know. So yes, food is necessary. You can argue that clothes are just a luxury, but food isn't, brother. Yes, new players won't buy that pro bundle bullshit unless they are fucking filthy rich.
A Series 5 card if you're spending your gold on credits to try to advance to get these tokens. Now, of course, as a free-to-play game, technically everything eventually is free, and that's great. I'm glad there's a process and a path for people to unlock cards for free. That's awesome. People like me and Wales, who spend even more than me, you know, we're helping to subsidize some of those free progressions for everybody else because we support the game via all these crazy expenses, etc. But it's still a really frustrating model because free but a year later feels really, really bad, and I hate that you can't.
Exactly, and that's what I have been saying, and I believe we will talk about that a little bit later when we take a look at the Reddit post. But people think that because they are downgrading cards, everything is fine, and no, we knew that this was going to happen, and the system is still the same bullshit, brother. You will still have to wait a fucking lot so this new Series 5 card drop into Series 4 and then into Series 3. So you will get the card after, I don't know, 5 months. Some people have done the math and it is like 2.5 months for each demotion. So you get the card on Series C after 5 months. So the whales have already been playing with that card when you are finally able to interact with the card. And you can't forget that the card exists because the card can still be used against you in a game. So yes, brother, the system is bullshit, and whoever says this game isn't pay to win is just an idiot because it is clearly fucking pay to win.
Can't get excited about new cards as an average player because you're not going to get to play them for weeks and weeks and months and potentially literally years for Series 5 cards. Sometimes you may not find it or be able to spend the tokens on it for a long time. Exactly. Now, Second Dinner has teased that they're going to add in some fall off where Series 5 cards will rotate down into Series 4 and then eventually into Series 3, and that will speed up the progress. That will help, but we still haven't seen how often that's going to happen. We don't have the details there. So for now, it just feels like this
he released this, I believe, one day before they released the news that we got yesterday about the demotion of cards. So I can provide a little extra insight on that because I am from the future, Regis, and I know how the demotion looks like, and it doesn't help at all. It doesn't fucking help at all. It is still the same stupid stuff.
Endless mile-long treadmill where you're never really getting to the end, and there's just every card is getting further and further away. So this desperately needs this system that drops cards down by series and makes them more accessible for people, because this is the first card game I've ever seen where new cards aren't exciting. In fact, they are they're actually really unexciting. And
brother, I have been saying this since the announcement of the Series 5. I said it, brother. There are two scenarios possible with the, and I have repeated this a lot of times. Or you don't give a fuck because you can't get the new card, or you are mad because you can't get the new card. So they managed to do the impossible and make people not excited or mad about new cards. This is the first ever card game that has managed to do that, apart from being the first ever uncollectible card game. So they are going for all the record Guinness in here, my boys.
I'm trying to pull up a filter here. I'm always so bad at doing these filters on the fly. Like all these new cards on the way. This is, Sauron's coming out tomorrow. You've got Shauna the She-Devil. You've got Dazzler. You've got the Living Tribunal, which is like the most awesome Marvel character in the universe. It's not exciting at all to see these new cards coming out.
Is that how you pronounce that? Tribunal? Because I just say tribunal like an idiot.
It's actually kind of depressing, and it develops resentment that you can't play the new stuff for so long. So I've never seen a card game that can't hype up its new cards. Everybody just feels really sad every time.
Exactly. Even when you finally get them, the hype died down because the card existed for 3, 4, 5 months, or 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And you aren't excited anymore about this card. You are excited about the other new card that is coming out that, of course, you can get. So the system will be forever stupid until they do something to change it. And guess what? They aren't going to change it. In fact, they are doubling down, because now that they announced that they are going to give the first edition badge to people that buy the card into Series 5, that means that they are going to keep pushing new cards into Series 5. They believe this is cool. And this is the main problem of the whole collection system. The stubbornness of releasing new cards into Series 5 is what makes the whole system stupid, brother. And now they are incentivizing you to buy the stuff in the Series 5 because you get a badge. Who the fuck cares about a badge? Show your badge where you know, brother. I don't give a fuck about the badge. I just give a fuck about the gameplay. Who cares about a fucking badge, dude?
A new card gets revealed, which doesn't make any sense to me at all for a model. So I've sent feedback directly to Second Dinner.
Exactly, brother. He's saying the same stuff I have been saying. That doesn't make sense, brother.
Cards, everybody just feels really sad every time a new card gets revealed, which doesn't make any sense to me at all for a model. So I've sent feedback directly to Second Dinner. I've said, hey guys, what if you built in a free card rotation system where every week there were like 3 cards everybody got to play for the week for free, much like a MOBA game might have a free hero rotation pool where even if you don't have this hero unlocked, you get to play them for the week. And there's like 1 Series 5 card, 1 Series 4 card, and whatever, maybe 2 Series 4 cards.
I'll be honest, I don't like that system. It is cool that people can try the card without having it in that case, but at the same time, that will warp the meta every week surrounding the cards that are free to play in that week, So it will be like the whole location or the feature location, but for cards. And I don't really like that. Maybe I am wrong, maybe it can be cool, but I personally don't like it.
Cards per week or something, whatever the details want to be. And then everybody can be excited about new cards. Like, okay, maybe it's not the first week. Maybe Sauron's not available right away, but maybe you get to play him next week. And there's still some excitement, some anticipation for when you might get to play these new cards, even if you haven't unlocked them permanently. Some sort of system that lets people access and experiment with these new cards, even if they don't own them permanently quite yet, I think would really help build excitement.
Yes, we talked about that earlier when the video started about Sentry, because Sentry fucking sucks. So yes, you don't really want a full collection because there are bullshit cards. Like China, when China releases, nobody gives a fuck about China. Nobody is spending 6K tokens on China. So yes, I understand you, but at the same time, the game is fucking expensive. Even getting the one card you want, let's say you want Galactus, you want Null. Even getting that one is fucking expensive, and that's the stuff, brother. That's the stuff.
It's frustrating that that's not there. So I don't know what the system would be, but that was an example I gave at least a second dinner as an idea for helping people get access to Series 5 cards a little more readily. So that's my rant on the monetization as someone who's...
Oh, what Cody is saying is also true. You want to maintain your collection as big as possible because that increases your chances of getting the card you want to see in the token shop. Because if you are missing a lot of cards, the token shop can show you more options and it will take longer so the option you want pops up. So that is something to take into consideration, of course. But yes, I am also happy with the cards they decided to downgrade. Of course, I am happy with the cards they decided to downgrade. Those are the cards that I wanted to see downgraded, brother. So I am happy with that too.
Spent $2,700 and still barely keeping up. Like, I think something has to change, and I'm okay.
Something has to change
if
for
Second
sure.
Dinner doesn't want people having every card. Like, that is a goal they've stated. They want people to have play with the cards that they own and not necessarily
Uncollectible card game, the first ever uncollectible card game, my boys.
Feel like they need to be completionists. That's a little bit hard to hear as a content creator when we want to play with new stuff for content. So I've spent extra to try to achieve that goal. But for regular player, that's a reasonable goal. But there's still a gap between not having every card and being excited about some cards. And I feel like they're so far away right now between those two. There needs to be a little bit closer gap there. People still need to be excited about new cards, still need to get new cards consistently enough and regularly enough to feel like they're moving forward in the game. Even if they never quite complete the collection, they need to be tantalized and teased to keep the momentum rolling so they have new fun stuff to do. Right now, feels like nobody's getting fun new stuff to do. So,
brother, I believe that a game that isn't able to keep the hype up every certain amount of time is a game that slowly dies down. And I have been experimenting this with my main game, Dora 2. Dora 2 started not giving a fuck a long ago, and every year you see the numbers declining and dying down, and let's be honest, nobody gives a fuck about Dora 2 anymore. So what I'm trying to say with this example is they have to keep the player base excited about these cards, and if they keep pushing this format where nobody is excited about the new cards, they are putting themselves in an uncomfortable position to be able to hype up the game every time. Yes, today we are hyped up because they announced the first downgrade, but how long will it happen till we realize that it is still bullshit? How long will it happen until this downgrading system gets sold and we are bought again and it doesn't provide the hype anymore? They will have to come up with something else. So I believe this remains to be stupid, my brother.
So that's my monetization rant mixed in here with the complete collection side of this conversation.
Exactly. You have to talk about the collection system and the economic stuff if you are going to talk about completing a collection with money. You have to talk about it because these two topics are intertwined, brother. They are inseparable one from another.
Conversation. I still think Marvel Snap is outrageously expensive if you spend gold. You don't have to spend gold, of course, but if you do, it feels like your gold turns into almost nothing. Like, you just don't get a great rate of return. Part of that is built into the card model of the game.
Exactly. If you are just a regular spender, you already bought the season pass. You don't want to buy the pro bundle because it is expensive as fuck. You don't want to buy the variant stuff because you don't care about the variants, and you say, well, I'm going to just buy gold. I have 10 bucks that I can spend, and you go and buy 10 bucks worth of gold in the shop. What does that give you? Nothing. You get nothing out of that 10 bucks. You spend that gold in credits, you maybe get a couple boxes, and those boxes can have a title and 200 credits, and there you are done. You are fucked. You spend 10 bucks for nothing. So, or you are a whale, or you don't spend money because you don't get anything out of your money. That is a cool strategy. You're a raptor. You should try it. You should try it, brother, because that is a cool strategy. Maybe you get a lot of, you get the cards that are getting demoted to Series 3, and maybe you get at least one of the new Series 4 cards, you know. They are trying to, supposedly by their own words, they are trying to recreate the feeling of the 90s when you open a booster pack and you have to make a deck with what you have. But that is not the world we live in anymore, brother. And I'll be honest, I believe that is just an excuse to use this predatory bullshit. Maybe I am just too... I don't know, sceptic, or what is the word? Like I'm seeing the bad instead of the good, but that is the feeling I'm getting, you know, that bullshit is just an excuse to implement this stupid system. Pessimistic, that is the word. Thank you, brother.
Game where there are fewer cards to collect. I understand all the nuances and complexities here, but at the end of the day, it still doesn't feel great to spend money very often in this game. It's almost like both the free-to-play players and the whales are both not being catered to in some way, somehow.
Exactly.
There's no ways
somehow,
to just
they managed to do the impossible. They managed to not cater nor whales, nor free-to-play players, nor dolphins, because as the example I already said, if you spend 10, 20 bucks in gold, it is stupid. You get nothing, so you aren't incentivized to do that either. So who the fuck is this game catered to, brother? To nobody.
Everything, and there's also no ways to make great free progression in a timely fashion either. There's like both sides are feeling left unsatisfied, which I've never quite seen that before. Usually one side feels ripped off and the other is happy, and usually it's the whales that are happy, almost never the free-to-play players. So there is something.
But you can see that he feels ripped off. He feels like, brother, I just spent 2,700 bucks on this bullshit and I get a profit from this, and he still feels ripped off. Imagine the non-content creation whale, you know, and imagine the non-whale player. So what the fuck, brother?
And not letting us just spend everything all at once and buy all the cards, I guess, but I think there's still some major flaws in that system. So what does $2,700 get you in Marvel Snap? I wanted to go through and just take a quick look at my collection. And I guess first off, let's start with the non-variant side of the equation. So this is all of the base cards, and I've had a system in place, not since the very beginning of the game, but recently I've been trying to upgrade all of my base cards, so non-variant, non-split cards, to infinite.
Bro, he's doing the same thing that I'm doing. I'm doing exactly that. I am trying to upgrade all my base cards, non-splits, no variants, to the Infinity Border, because the new Infinity Border is fucking awesome. And I want to have all my cards, my base cards, into Infinity Variant. And of course, because I almost always like better the base art than the variants art, you know, more and because the base art makes it that you have a consistent deck. I don't like having a deck with a bunch of mixed art styles.
Infinite. I want a fully infinite base collection, and as you can see, I'm actually making quite a bit of progress there. I have a vast majority of the basic set here,
yes,
all the way up to infinite ranks. You'll see here is right here we get into the ultra legendaries instead of the infinites. These are cards I've often played a little bit less or might be newer, some of the series 5 stuff, but pretty much everything at this stage is up to legendary or ultra legendary. Atuma here waiting on an upgrade as soon as I get some credits, but getting close. I think eventually this will happen. What I do is once I hit...
That's what I did before, Real Raptor. That's what I did before. I upgraded whatever bullshit, I didn't care. But that was before they introduced the new Infinity Border, because the old Infinity Border sucked. It was stupid. But I like the new one, so I started doing it with the new Infinity Border. And of course, the other thing you want to do is upgrade all the common stuff, because you get one extra level, 25 credits for a level. So you want to do that because it is optimal to gain levels on the collection track.
Infinite rank, which so far I've hit infinite rank every season of Marvel Snap. I will spend my free time farming boosters on like ultra legendary cards. I'll just build a deck full of ultra legendaries and farm boosters on like ultra legendary.
Are too fucking big, brother. Take a look at that. That is the first thing you see when the ad pops up. Those basungas are too fucking big, brother.
Cards. So I'll just build a deck full of ultra legendaries and farm boosters on these, trying to get them up so I can move them to infinite. I know that technically it is far more efficient for your collection level to upgrade common cards first as opposed to ultra legendary cards first, but I'm not as incentivized to like push collection levels right now because I'm not unlocking cards except for the very, very occasional super ultra rare series 5 in a collector's reserve, which that's so unlikely I don't even really bother when it comes to that. So mostly just about the aesthetics here of having a fully infinite base set, and it's going to be hard with each new card, right? But I mean, that's the soft goal. So the other soft goal is that I want every variant card to also be infinite, and I don't mean splits, I mean specifically a new variant, a unique variant. So if you see here, for instance, I mean, let's take an example right here. Like here's Chess Bishop.
I understand.
This is the base version of Chess Bishop. No modifiers.
Bro, this is a moving objective. You are never going to arrive at it because there are going to come new variants that you like and that you wanna get to infinity. So the goalpost will keep moving forward, brother.
No splits. I want these to be infinite as well. So that is my secondary goal. So I prioritize basic card upgrades, then unique variant upgrades, and then splits are final on the list. And as you'll see, I've still got cards with plenty of splits. Here's an example of Angela. Particularly in the old days, back before I started focusing on aesthetics, I would split pretty much anything all the time. So a lot of Angela variants and Angela splits, probably one of my most split cards, but I'm not ever really honing in on a single card and splitting it a ton. Although I do know that Iron Man, I also have a ton of variants and splits for Iron Man, as you can see here. This one's pretty cool looking. These are pretty fancy.
Bro, I want that Dan Higg variant for Iron Man, and I believe that was part of an event, and I didn't know that, and I didn't participate in the event, and I didn't get the variant, and I don't know if I will ever be able to get it again, which sucks, brother.
The golden variant Iron Mans look very, very sharp. So that's been my process a little bit for upgrading. Again, it's mostly driven by aesthetics, not by efficiency at this stage. So wouldn't be a model I'd recommend for everybody, but I do think it makes for a pretty nice, shiny, awesome looking collection at the end of the day. And as many of you know, when I stream, I do just use the base cards. I don't use all of these variants, of which I have, you know, as you can see, a lot of different unique
I am just
variants.
like that, my brother.
But
I am just like that.
I don't know, just for readability's sake, simplicity's sake, I often don't use variants. I may change that in the near future. I have a lot of variants. It would be very nice to...
It's exactly so. That the pixel variants are bad, and not because they are pixel. It is because they are bad pixel variants. You know, they could do cool pixel variants. And the chibi bullshit are just chibi baby bullshit that nobody gives a fuck about.
To show off. I've collected so many of these. I haven't bought many variants in the shop. These have mostly all been collected via reserves, as you know, very high in the collection level now. So I get a lot of variants in boxes, basically. So, you know, Hell Cow, I definitely did not spend money on the pixel Hell Cow here. This is...
I have that pixel variant, and it's fucking stupid, brother. Why the fuck would you use that bullshit instead of the base Hell Cow? You wouldn't do it, brother. You wouldn't do it. This fucking sucks.
Definitely just from a reserve, as is the case with most of these. I have a lot of pixel cards. I don't know how many, but I could definitely build some probably relatively viable pixel decks, which we may do eventually. And as you can see, I have a lot of common cards here that are not upgraded. As I said,
brother, Hulkbuster is fucking stupid. Bucky Barnes is fucking stupid. Mysterio right now is kind of bugged, and it is stupid as fuck. Everything that spawns token is stupid, like Brood or White Tiger. What is the other stupid one? Morph. Morph is stupid because he morphs into whatever and you don't see the variant anymore. There are a lot of stupid variants in the game, brother.
I said again, I have not focused purely on efficiency. So a lot of stuff left at common in the split world in particular, as I focus in on spending my credits to upgrade variants instead to infinite, as opposed to, I mean, look at how many commons I have. My goodness, it's even more perhaps than...
You should be upgrading those commons, brother, because you get a lot of from the commons. So you don't upgrade them past uncommon, but you upgrade them the common because 25 credits for a level is fucking cool.
And I realized. So I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. I'm sure you guys will have questions about various things. I'll try my best to answer them if you leave some comments. Oh yeah, there's the crystal again. As I try to scroll down to the bottom of my...
Bro, the crystal variant is cool because it is a damn Higg variant, but crystal fucking sucks.
collection here. God knows it'll take 100 years. But I mean, listen, I'm still enjoying Marvel Snap, of course. I think the gameplay in this game is absolutely amazing. I've been addicted to the gameplay since day one. I can't stop snapping, as they say. But man, the progression is tough. I've spent so much money.
And that's exactly what everybody says, and I have been saying for a long time. The gameplay is fucking awesome. You created a revolutionary game. There is no other game like this in the market, and I promise you that will spawn a lot of copycats because the game is awesome, and why wouldn't you copy the gameplay? So if you already have an addicting, cool gameplay, and you have one of the most powerful IPs in the world, that is Marvel, why the fuck do you need this predatory bullshit? You don't need it. You can make a fuck ton lot of money without it, brother. Fuck.
Again, I don't regret it personally, of course, because it's worth it to me. I make it back, but that amount of pressure on other people to spend that much money is insane. Somebody who's not using this as a job, it's just so ridiculous to spend $2,700 and not have every card. Imagine that. How many real video games is that? How much could I have gotten in food, rent, etc., instead of spending it on Marvel Snap?
In real stuff, because yes, we are gamers, and sometimes that warps our vision of reality. But you have to know that the real world exists, and in the real world, 2,700 is a lot of fucking money, and you could do a lot of stuff with that money to be spending it on a fucking card game in a cell phone, brother. We have to take things into perspective, my dude.
Which, listen, I know some people have disposable income. That's great. I'm not judging anybody for spending it, of course. If you have the money to spend, how you spend your money is your business. But
exactly,
creating that much pressure on the normal player to try to find cards and putting so much behind paywalls when it comes to Series 5 cards in particular, it's just really hard to get excited about the game.
And the industry, the video game industry, is doing exactly that. It is not just Second Dinner, it's the video game industry as a whole. They are conditioning people to think that it is okay to spend this kind of money in a video game, you know? So that's why a lot of people just say, oh, but all games are like that. I don't give a fuck if all games are like that. It is still bullshit. We have to do something about this, brother. We can't allow all games to be like this, brother. They are conditioning us to think that spending thousands of dollars on a fucking mobile game is okay, and it isn't okay, brother. You have to understand this. Yes, it is not only Second Dinner, it is all mobile games or the whole video game industry, but they are conditioning us to think that these price points are okay, and they aren't, brother, and we are allowing it. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing is, just because everybody do it, it doesn't mean it is okay. If you live in a country where everybody is a fucking cannibal, do you say that way in English? Cannibal, people that eat other people. And you do it because everybody is doing it, it is still wrong, my brother. It is still fucking wrong. So don't tell me that it is okay because everybody does it, because it is not. It is not okay.
I know they need to make money. I understand you got to keep in business, but I have to feel like there's probably some monetization system that feels better for most players and feels more rewarding when you actually spend your money. Because right now, I think most people feel pretty disappointed when they spend money. I certainly don't feel like I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck, as they say. And a lot of people just don't spend money at all because they feel the exact same way. So I guess we'll see what happens when it comes to cards rolling down into new series. Maybe that'll make the game feel a lot more accessible, get cards into people's hands a lot faster. But right now, man, it's kind of depressing when new cards get revealed as opposed to exciting. It's always the same YouTube comments. Man, can't wait to play these cards in a year. And you know what? That's a completely valid and reasonable response. And yeah, I get it. That completely sucks. So hopefully Marvel Snap will make some big changes in the near future, and not everybody will have to spend $2,700 to get a complete Marvel Snap collection, because I don't think most people are going to, guys. I think only a very select few who happen to have YouTube channels that turn that money into money are going to be able to do that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this insight, me sharing a little bit of behind the scenes about you know, why I'm spending so much on this game and what I got for it, and gonna keep stalling until I get to the bottom of the collection track here.
Well, he's done apparently. Bro, RegisKillbin, brother, thank you very much for doing this video, because this is necessary, brother. People have to open their eyes. This was a cool video. I am grateful for the insight of what you can get by spending a lot of fucking money in the game and getting collection level until over 10K. This dude is insane, brother. And yes, this is a conversation that has to be, that needs to happen, because this system is bullshit. And yes, we got the downgrading of cities yesterday, but the system didn't change at all. In fact, they are doubling down on getting new cards into Series 5, so it will continue to be like this. So we need to continue to be talking about this until they do something about it, or until they fucking kill the game, whichever comes first, you know. So again, thank you, Regis, for this video. It was a fucking cool video, my brother.